Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, have you seen the viral video yet? It's on TikTok, some news media are covering it, and it appears that a passenger fell over the glass on the icon of the seas on that infinity pool that's over the back of the ship. You know, the one that's like many stories high? But how come we haven't heard what happened to them? So I'll explain all what's going on there. We also have Holland America making some big changes to their entertainment team. We have Royal Caribbean also issuing an alert of big changes for one of the wildlife things that people like to do in Mexico. It's been changed pretty drastically in some cases. And we also have a possible bed bug sighting on a Disney cruise ship, allegedly. But the passengers also complaining about what happened afterwards. So first off, one of the big features and the new thing that came out with the Icon of the Seas design and soon to be the Star of the Seas design was the changing of the back, right? We used to have the Aqua Show there. Now we have the big open area for families. It's more of a family-friendly area with, you know, water park back there, etc. But above that, up on the upper decks, is a overhanging infinity pool where you can go up there and you have the glass and you're overlooking the wake of the ship and the back of the ship, and you can get those sunsets and sunrises from the infinity pool. It looks terrific. If you're afraid of heights, it's really scary, but we have this video that I'm going to show you right now of a passenger who looks like it's trying to reach for something and then flips over. Now, if you look at the back of the Icon of the Seas, you can see how high up that infinity pool is. And somebody falling over there, well, that's trouble, right? That's scary. That you're in a lot of trouble. And, news reports are coming out saying that this is, passenger fell off, another tragedy on the Icon of the Seas because of what just happened with the crew members, with the stabbing, etc. However, we got no reports of somebody passing away or getting injured from this. Now, why? Why could this possibly have happened? Well, Royal Caribbean designers are not idiots. First of all, an infinity pool over another deck, right? They know people are going to carry drinks into that pool. They know people are going to be carrying their phones and taking pictures out there. And they're not going to have a complete drop-off to guests below, where nothing's going to stop from being able to be dropped on people. Just imagine the water splashing on rough seas and then falling down on the people below them. They don't want any of that. So they're not idiots. And they have designed like a 2.5-foot walkway back there with another set of glass. So anybody who drops anything, or in this case, flips over the glass, thank goodness there was something there, right? You just land on that railing, that area back there. So it makes it look like somebody is falling to their demise, but in reality, they just fell to the work floor below where workers go back to help clean the glass and maintain the pool. So if you see that video and people are claiming that another tragedy happened, it didn't. Maybe the person might have hurt their back when they fell over, but that's the extent of it. Next, let's talk about Holland America, and they have quietly announced that they are revamping their entertainment. Now, Holland America already has some of the best live music you will ever see at sea, with music walk on their ships, etc. But what they kind of were lacking was some of their stage shows, shall we say. They have a lot of history shows up there, the history of Holland America. They, have the dance troupe that's up there, but not a lot of live singers or Broadway productions. Well, they say they're going to have some of those come back now. In fact, they're going to have live band on stage now to assist the dancers and the singers and entertainers, which is a big change coming to their entertainment. I'm glad to see this. I'm more of a production show guy than I am just watching a dance troupe play dance to music. And I like listening to live music with live singers and a live band. So that's really good. They're bringing duos and trios for classical music. They're even saying that they're going to revamp the cruise director role. Not sure what they mean by that. Maybe they're going to get more involved in some of the day-to-day activities, the game shows and the production shows. Not sure, but that's another announcement that they're changing. Kind of exciting. Looking forward to see what Holland America does with their new entertainment lineup. Next, if you're a fan of going to Mexico and one of the things you like to do is go swim with the dolphins, or your kids are bugging you to go see the dolphins, be aware now there's a new law in Mexico that has drastically changed some of the experiences, especially those VIP experiences, where some of the things you are no longer allowed to do. For instance, you are no longer allowed to be pushed by the dolphin. You know how you would lie down and push your feet out, and the dolphin's nose would hit your feet and they'd push you across the pool? No longer allowed to do that. Even the boogie board, where they would push you on a boogie board, that's not allowed neither. You're not allowed to grab onto the fins of the dolphin anymore. Basically, it's going to be a meet and greet with the dolphins now, more of a petting experience than possibly a feeding experience, and see some tricks, but you're not going to get that, be part of the show kind of thing that people have experienced in the past with the dolphin show. So be aware of that. It's much like the sloth changes, where you're not allowed to hold the sloths in some places now because of the new law. Kind of the same thing now with the dolphins. So you want to be aware of that. And finally, we have a situation about bed bugs. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new entertainment lineups to possibly bed bugs on your cruise ship. You never know what's coming up in the cruise industry, what's happening with the ships, but I'll keep you informed as best I can, and hopefully have a little bit of fun along the way as well. Doesn't cost a single thing to hit that subscribe button, but boy, it really does help the channel out. And that's it. I really do appreciate it. Okay. Somebody who was on the Disney Magic posted a single picture of a single bed bug and said that they discovered a bed bug in one of their 2 staterooms. They had connecting staterooms. Now, when you see one bed bug, you can pretty much assume there's going to be more, right? There can be more. Now, did Disney Cruise Line say, it's only one, you know what? I don't think there's any. No, Disney said, okay, sorry about that. They immediately moved them to another cabin and started a deep cleaning process of that cabin to get rid of any possible infestation in that stateroom. Now, what the passenger is a little upset about is because they had connecting staterooms, they were now in a separate area of the ship away from the other stateroom, away from their family. And they are saying, should we get compensated for that? Now we're no longer in connecting staterooms. All they offered was a deep cleaning of our laundry and clothes, etc., but they didn't offer us any compensation. So I'll put this question out to you. Do you think being moved from, a situation like this where something was wrong in the stateroom or possibly wrong in the stateroom, they moved them to another one, but it's not connecting, they're away from their family. If the ship is full, obviously they can't switch people around all the time. Do they deserve more compensation? I don't know. I think this kind of falls under that situation of bad luck. We just had a little bit of bad luck. You happen to get into one stateroom that possibly had something wrong with it. It's like as if the toilet backed up in your stateroom. And they move you to a new stateroom. Should you get compensation now, even though you're in a brand new stateroom? I think things happen. And I think we need to just let some things go. And I know it's disappointing sometimes, but it shouldn't ruin your entire vacation. And no, I don't know if we should get compensation every single time something goes a little awry. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button until next time. Have yourself a safe and a great vacation.